next to me because this is
So I think last time we spoke to you, talking about Hannah, and I think we saw a trailer. How's that coming on? How's Hannah coming on?
Yeah, there's been a bit of a delay because we've been waiting for Sound of Music, and myself and Dan have been working on a variety of projects that have kind of stopped a little bit. I haven't been like pushing the film forward as much, simply because we've been working on 3 or 4 different things. I've been working on like big corporate films. But it's still going relatively well, and I hope to finish that film in the next sort of 2-3 months. And now we're working on other projects, so we've got quite a lot in the pipeline.
I mean, you've gone back from Germany.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to say what that was about.
Well, I can't because of like my NDAs. I can't talk about exactly specifically, but I have been working with a company in London. Myself and John. Last time we spoke, I discussed that myself and John might be working in London more often, and it seems as though that's come to fruition.
And Dan, I think last time we spoke to you, you were editing your Japanese horror movie.
Yep.
Is that finished?
Well, no, the initial edit is done, and there's a lot of effects post-work to be done on that film, so I'm expecting probably at the end of the year it'll be done. I'm also waiting for Isaac Ray, really great sound designer, to work on the sound basically and do that for us. But yeah, similar to Riyadh, I mean, basically, it's always dealing with a lot of projects in a row, kind of thing.
So do you do post on a lot of Riyadh's projects? Is that...
I've done post on, or bits of post on a few. So on Hannah, I sort of came along as a second editor really, and like Riyadh basically did the main cut, and then really I kind of think of it as he wanted a second eye. He basically just wants the film to be as good as possible. So get a solid editor to come along and just trim up whatever cuts, come up with new ideas, some of which are accepted, some are rejected, But no, it's a really good way to work, and with like the short films that we've done recently, we worked on together. We actually sat and edited the whole way together, the whole way through the film together, which is very unusual. Well, for me at least. I don't know, when someone's like stood behind you, sort of, and going, "What about that? What about that?" It's quite a difficult. Normally it would be a difficult way to edit, but it's worked quite well.
We've got about 3 projects we've edited together now. So it seems as though this collaboration is really, really working. I want to keep it going for as long as possible, really. Till he realises how good he is.
So, I mean, what other projects have you got in the pipeline that you're allowed to talk about? Is there anything?
We've got a one-take film that we've got coming up.
One-take film, yeah.
We're still working, sorry.
No, go on.
I was just going to say, we're still working at concept and logistics of it, but that should be pretty cool.
So that's one shot, no cuts?
No cuts, and not even any hidden cuts like
we're not allowed to do hidden cuts in that either, so we have to design something literally that is a continuous shot. We're not allowed to cheat it like irreversible or something like that, But we've also got DV Mission, which we're going to enter DV Mission again this year. That'll be awesome. I've got a music video that I'm doing at the end of this month for a local artist actually called Tuki Bell, Pablo Woodruff. Very, very good singer. What other things have we got?
We've got A Little Rain Must Fall, which is sort of weird, twisted cousin of Hannah, and I'm looking forward to be shooting that with John and Dan and Ben and the other people in our team.
Did we already speak about Hannah on camera?
Sorry?
Yeah, we already
spoke about Hannah on camera.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we did. Okay. Okay, so what can like an audience, client, or if you want to sell Slam Screen, how would you sell it? What do you want to say to your potential clients, audience? What's your sales pitch?
I mean, selling it sounds a little bit dodgy in the first place, but I'm just trying to make really great films at a very high quality, and that's basically what I want to do for the rest of my career. And if that's with Slam Screen or with Dan Hawkins or whoever, I'm looking just to make great films of great quality.
Same sort of question for Mythgitter. I mean, you know, what's your brand, or what can an audience expect?
The way I look at it, I imagine is quite similar to Riyadh in that obviously we both do corporate work, we so like videography or whatever, to just try and get a bit of money. So some of those jobs I really enjoy, some of them are a little bit more boring or whatever, you know. But the projects you really want to do are the personal projects or you know the fictional projects that people bring you onto, that you really get involved in. My thought is not like I've got some massive marketing plan to become the next Richard Branson or something like that. If you make a film that is really, really good, if you make a primer or an upstream colour or something like that, then or strings or whatever, if you make something of such high quality that no one can ignore it, then you know you're going to make it as a film director, right? If you don't, then you won't. That's it.
I needed to make an appearance.
Hey,
hello, mate.
Ryan, I haven't seen you in
Hello.
ages, man. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, very well.
Why are you videoing us?
I'm catching up on some interviews. I'll have to talk to you a bit in a minute, or maybe now. Hang on.
Is that really good?
So just to summarise, it's kind of like the self-expression that you really like. You like to be able to express yourself in your work.
Self-expression. I don't know. That's yeah. Maybe that was a bit of a leading question. If you make films, I guess if you write and direct and edit films, then that's a form of self-expression. Yeah. I don't know if that's my favourite thing about it. I'm not sure. I love the whole process. I think storytelling is really, really important. We understand life through stories. You know, when we come home and we sort of explain what we did during our day, whether we know it or not, there's a 3-act structure to that. We process the world through stories. You know, we drop out the details that we don't need in the conversations that we have, and we fashion these things so that we can communicate something effectively to someone else. Film is beautiful because it can do that extremely succinctly, and it can affect people really, really. You know, it can affect people a great deal in a very short space of time, and for those 2 hours you can sort of understand something from someone else's perspective and realise something about the world that you never did before. So I love it as a medium. I think it's a really important thing, so I really enjoy doing it, so I want to do it. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you.